everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have coffee or tea or whatever it is that you like to drink. And while we are going to be talking about the full moon that's happening within the sign of Taurus, because I am so excited for this full moon, you have no idea. It's going to be so decadent. It's going to be so good. I feel like it's the full moon that we have been waiting for, and we didn't even realize or knew that we were waiting for this moment. So, I have to be honest, I feel like the last few months and the last few weeks, there have been some peaks, but there also have been some lows. And for a lot of you guys, you know, you're just kind of riding the wave and holding on as best as you can and as hard as you can. And over time, you know, it gets a little exhausting and frustrating. But this new moon, even though there's some negative or difficult aspects, I just look at it as like a golden cosmic chocolate treat. And I'll explain why. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and dive right into why. Okay, so the full moon is happening on November 4th around 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm pulling the chart up. You guys already know that I don't look at other blogs. I don't look at other interpretations of the chart readings. I pull them up myself. And in fact, let me show you. I pull it up myself right here. That's the chart of the moment. And I interpret it within the moment. And I like to keep the reason why I do this is because I want it to be free-flowing, I want it to be pure education, and I also want to incorporate my intuition into it. For those of you guys who are, you know, old friends to the channel, you already know this. For those of you who are new, then this is just how I do my readings. So you're going to see me looking off to the right because I'm looking at the chart. So this full moon is happening roughly around 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. When I pulled the chart for this moment, I am around 2:22 a.m. That's the time that I put the chart up, and the aspects are relatively close, so just keep in mind that it's around that time. If anything, it would probably be a few hours a few minutes before 2:22, so probably around like 1:50, anytime between 1:50 and 2 o'clock in the morning is when this new moon would be, when this full moon would be exact. But either way, you're going to see me doing magic November 4th at night, that night. I'm not going to be waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning in order to start doing candle magic or anything like that, or making the lunar oils. I'll be doing it later on that night, probably around like 10 or 9 or 11, depending on my schedule and, you know, how I'm feeling. I work when my energy is high. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and dive into the details. So the full moon is happening within the sign of Taurus. And I love Taurus. Number one, it's ruled by the planet Venus, which is one of my favorite planets. Venus naturally rules beauty, aesthetic, love, relationships, value, things that we value, like luxury, those types of stuff. And not only does Taurus have that beautiful essence, that beautiful Venus vibe around it, it also is grounded with earth energy. And that's something that I love about Taurus, is that it brings in, you know, not only does it bring in the beauty, but it grounds it, it cements it, and it makes it real. It gives it structure and stability. And that's what this full moon, I feel, is going to be all about, is going to be about your values, your structure, your money, your relationships, your commitment, your investments. And it's also going to be about like pleasure of life, like the pleasure of experience of life that I feel like sometimes we don't even focus on. We don't even think about it. We don't even think about setting intentions for like what our quality of life is going to look like. Maybe we just say, oh, I want to have, you know, this big house, or I want to travel to here, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But we don't think about like, you know, I want to be wrapped up in, you know, plush sweaters and a burning candle in the background and a hot cup of tea and good food and good people and laughter, like belly laughing. That's what this Taurus full moon is all about, is just enjoying, like really truly enjoying. The moon represents our emotions. It's sitting directly opposite of Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of abundance and blessing. Jupiter is currently moving through the sign of Scorpio. And I look at this as just larger than life, over the top, feeling really, really good, just things kind of like exaggerated. Now I'm setting the intention that your feelings, your emotions are going to be exaggerated for the good, not for the bad. But again, of course, you know, it totally depends on your personal chart, what your planets, where your planets are currently aligned within your personal chart. that's where you're going to see, and feel the direct effect. But if you set the intention, you can work with whatever the planets are throwing at you. Trust me, my own personal chart is full of like squaring planets and lots of friction. And at the end of the day, it makes me motivated. It makes me driven. It makes me relentless. It makes me like so, like, you couldn't stop me even if you tried. I'm 5 feet 100 pounds, and like I'm a force to be reckoned with, because my planets within my chart are pushing me to be something bigger and better than I was, like, that I was maybe believed to be. I hope that makes sense. But really, anyways, what I'm trying to say is that if you set the intention, if you set your mind toward a positive outcome and positive things, no matter what the circumstances are stacked against you, you will achieve it, you will work it. And intention, magic, prayer, all of those things are the same things. Relatively, they're all pretty much the same thing. And if you make it work for you, it will work for you. And nothing really can take you down. Trust and believe. So, yeah, again, so Jupiter sitting opposite of the moon, just really heightening emotion, heightening feelings, bringing things larger, bigger, better. The moon is sextile Neptune. Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Neptune rules illusion, fantasy, intuition, imagination. And Pisces is naturally ruled by Neptune. Pisces is the sign of, wants to rule soulmates and soul purpose and visualization and being able to believe in order for you to conceive. And it just, if you visualize what it is that you want and you're able to picture it because your imagination and your intuition is so vivid, then you're more apt to bring it into your life. In fact, you will bring it into your life because you visualized it, you've experienced it, you believed a fantasy so strongly that it actually came into your life because you drew it to you. And that's the energy of Neptune sitting in the sign of Pisces. Now, the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter, we've been talking about this on the BehatiLife YouTube channel. They're all moving through the sign of Scorpio, asking you to be really, like, have depth and profound knowingness of what it is that you want. So bringing significance and purpose and meaning into your life and meaning into your relationships, instead of having superficial relationships and superficial jobs that just pay your bills but don't pay your purpose. These are, your mind starts focusing on really diving into these nitty-gritty details, and you really can't ignore it. So Scorpio also rules the energy of death and destruction and illness in some ways. And the things of your life that are meant to kind of strip away and melt away and get sick and die away, you're really starting to see within the last month and a half. And your relationships change, your perception changes, everything is shifting and changing because these planets are moving real slow through the sign of Scorpio, saying, you know what, get real, get authentic, get raw. And the other thing that I see here that I really want to talk about is the fact that Chiron, the wounded healer, is sitting within the sign of Pisces. And Chiron here, it really wants you to, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Scorpio is, and the sun sitting in the sign of Scorpio, Mercury sitting within the sign of Scorpio, has a natural tendency to bring in old wounds and old things of the past, and just kind of swivels them up and brings them up to the surface, like these tiny little demons or, skeletons within the closet. And in the moment, we can feel ache, we can feel suffering, we can feel pain, but really what it's doing, Chiron sitting here within the sign of Pisces, is asking you to look at these aspects and also work to heal them. Where you find the wound is where you also find the strength. And if you're authentic and real with yourself, and you're able to look at the things that you're scared about, not only are you able to defeat and move past those old fears, but you're able to realize, you know what, this is who I am, this is what I truly want, and this is what I should be asking for. And this time, like this full moon, for me and for you, I see it as creating real strong structure for yourself, not only for business and security and money, but mentally feeling structure, mentally feeling secure, meaning you don't have to rely on other things or, those old wounds, those old belief systems that, let's say we have wounds from the past, from our past childhood that we are still holding on to. these beliefs that we have grown into as children, that have created the foundation of our adulthood. And now it's like, okay, well, we don't have to, we can totally restructure this, because if my foundation isn't strong, then me myself, I'm not strong, because anything can shake my foundation, anything can uproot me. And Taurus, again, think about uproot. Like roots, they need to find earth, they need to find ground, they need to go deep, they need to go strong. Make sure that your roots are in fertile ground, in fertile soil, and that can support you for not just now, but for lifetimes and generations to come, that you can build a strong, permanent structure of stability that you can fall back on no matter what is going on around you, no matter what the world looks like. And you're going to be moving from a place of your purpose and your destiny and soul, like karmic, like this is what I know I should be doing. This is the relationships. These are the people that should be in my life. And they bring meaning and purpose to my life. And that's what Taurus is really asking for you. This Taurus full moon is really asking for you to tap into. So Taurus is naturally ruled, again, like I said before, by the planet Venus. And Venus is sitting within the sign of Libra. And Libra accepts and loves Venus so much. The planets and the signs absolutely 100% play favorites. And Libra and Venus love each other. And they say, you know what? I love you just the way you are. You are perfect. And it really doesn't get any better. So that's the vibe of Venus sitting within the sign of Libra, but also Venus is sitting opposite of Uranus. Now this can create some financial shakeups, remember, because Venus can rule our money and our relationships. So it can create some financial shakeups and some relationship shakeups. Uranus also represents, rules the element of surprise and innovation. So this is probably where, sorry guys, Moochie's going to come in a second and barge in like he always does when I'm filming live videos or videos in general. But yeah, so Uranus naturally wants to kind of shake things up and switch things up a bit. And Venus, you know, is being challenged. And she, in this case, you know, Uranus is saying, I want independence. I want to go out. I want to explore. I want to do things differently. I want to try for new things. And Venus is like, I really wanted you to pay attention to me. I don't know why you're looking at other things. I want you to pay attention to me. So what we have is an imbalance where it's independence and dependency. So really with this, you know, this can, if there's some restructuring that needs to happen within your finances, meaning like maybe you're too financially dependent on your job and your job isn't giving to you in a way that is going to provide for you, then you can see a shakeup here. If your relationship, if you're having, you know, complications or imbalance within your personal relationships, then you will see a shakeup here. Moochie, I need you to be patient. I need you to wait. Wait. Sorry, you guys. He's a little so aggressive today, Mr. Mooch. Yeah, so, but the good thing is that any type of shakeups that are happening here, I definitely see for the better. It's all to make you more dependent on yourself. More independent, so you're able to explore while still being in a partnership or a relationship that's mutually beneficial for you. And also, Saturn rules commitment and structure and stability and responsibility, and Saturn is sending really nice vibes and energy over to Venus and says, look, the decisions that it is that you're making are going to be for the better. Trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in the higher power. Because what we're trying to do is make you, again, more self-sufficient and more stable. So if I were you, you guys, I would set intentions for a really bright, beautiful, abundantly filled life. And the other thing is, when I say abundance, I mean abundance of blessings and goodness. I'm not saying that you need to accumulate all this wealth or all these things, because I see Taurus energy as very simplistic but high quality. So really what I want you to do is set intentions for a higher quality of life, a higher quality of relationships, a higher quality of your job situation, a higher quality of your living environment. Think about making what you have, making it better. Thinking about making yourself better. Thinking about increasing the quality of who you are. Taking care of yourself, getting better food. If you can't financially afford better food, because organic food and you know, maybe having the time to make that food is like impossible because you have so many things on your plate. Set the intention that you have a job and a career that blesses you so much with financial abundance that you now have more time to spend time making good food. Taurus rules this, that you now have more time to luxuriate, to lay out on a recliner or a lounge chair in the sun in the islands, you know, to take vacation in order to recharge your batteries. These are things that are not, it's not bad to ask for. It's so good to ask for these things. Don't feel ashamed to ask for them. Relationships, more commitment, like better commitment that you want, that is mutually beneficial to you. A relationship that gives to you, and a relationship that you're able to give all of yourself to it. And it feels good. It gives to you. It's a thriving environment. What you have to look at your life and compare it to a garden. You want the garden to be lush. Now, it's up to you to, you know, decide what it is that you're going to plant within that garden. You know, are you going to plant roses for love? Are you going to plant herbs for, you know, healing? Are you going to plant, you know, plants for, you know, protection, for abundance? Each of those plants, this is a metaphor, each of those plants represents something. It's going to be the intention that you set. And as they grow and as time goes on, your garden fills more and more and more. And it becomes more filled and bountiful. All right, so that's the metaphor that I'm giving to you guys. This full moon is going to be amazing. Of course, I'm going to be making a lunar intention oil for this full moon. I'm going to be making 2 for myself and abundance for all of you guys, so you can see all of those within the apothecary. If you have any questions, comment below. But in the meantime, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys really soon, early next week, because it's Friday when I'm filming this, so we'll be in contact really soon. I love you. Bye.